Why didn't our teachers tell us that as soon as we start working, if we put £5 a day away and invest that £5 a day, we will be millionaires by the time we retire? Why didn't they teach us this?
No shock advised.
Hi guys, thank you so much for joining me in another video. My name is Fifi and this is my journey to financial freedom. Today I want to talk about how to go broke. So let's just jump straight into this because this is making me angry. Guys, one of the leading causes of suicide, mental health issues, relationships breaking down, even divorce is money. And unfortunately, financial literacy isn't something that we are taught in school, and I don't know why. Like, there really needs to be more practical applications of finance. And why weren't we taught this? Why didn't our teachers tell us that as soon as we start working, if we put £5 a day away and invest that £5 a day, we will be millionaires by the time we retire? Why didn't they teach us this? We hear things like pension, saving, accounts, insurance. It sends shudders down people's spines, and we procrastinate and we put things off and we completely avoid facing it. And as adults, we leave learning behind. And why is that? How many people out there have actually read books on money, on personal finance? Did anyone else watch that really cool documentary on Netflix? I think it was out at the end of last year because I remember watching it just after I had my baby. And I remember one particular scene where Bill Gates was just dragging literally a basket full. It was almost a suitcase full of books, and apparently that's basically his bag, and he would take these books with him wherever he would go, and that would be his reading book. Most of us just have one book in our rucksack or whatever it is, but this guy literally carries a trolley full of 10 or 15 different books that he's reading in one go. This is genius. But anyway, the point is, why don't we know enough about our money to make that money work for us? I mean, we need to educate ourselves. We wouldn't ask a clown to operate on us, would we? That was supposed to be a joke, guys. That was supposed to be a joke. I forgot the punchline. The point is, the majority of us just wing it when it comes to personal finances. So I like to sprinkle a few facts when I do these videos, right? So here's a few facts for you. The RSA here in the UK completed some studies, and they found that people feel poorer today than they did in the time of the Great Recession of 2008. Now think about that. Like, why is that? So the first one, 50% of people want full-time jobs, but they're stuck with part-time jobs. The second one, 90% of the gig economy earn less than £10,000 per annum. Guys, 70% of people live salary to salary, and what that means is you have your salary for 1 month, and by the end of the month you have no money, so you have to get paid by the end of the month, and then that will allow you to survive for the next. 70% of people in the UK live like this because our saving habit is just so bad. 30% of employees have less than £500 saved in the bank, and 41% have less than £1,000. 45% of people feel like they have too much debt, and finally, only 7% of people know when they want to actually retire. Now that is the really sad and annoying thing. What the numbers tell us is not great. We need money to eat, sleep, work, repeat. Right, so based on those facts and those percentages alone, I think it's safe to say that most of us here in the UK lack the skills to develop a healthy personal balance sheet. So the banks are supposed to be your safe place, right? And it really annoys me and frustrates me when people think that yes, keeping all your savings in a bank account is the best thing. It's not. For example, unless you win the lottery or get hit by lightning, you know what's going to hit you first, right? Inflation. And that's going to devalue your money faster than a bolt of lightning. Do you like that one? No, that doesn't work. And that's the thing that the government is trying to control, inflation. What is inflation then? Inflation is basically how much the price of something goes up each year. So for example, if you bought something today for £100 and say the average inflation rate per year is 2%, by the end of the year, that thing that you bought for £100 is now going to cost you £102, right? So if your salary doesn't increase with inflation, you're suddenly at the end of the year still paying more for that same thing with the same amount of money that you make. And so your expenses have gone up, but what you earn has stayed the same. So you're actually getting poorer each year unless your salary is increasing by a little bit more than inflation. So £1 million in the bank in January will have lost £20,000 by December. Rule number 1 of investing is don't invest when you're guaranteed to lose. So putting your money in a bank account is guaranteed to make you lose money because of the impact of inflation. Banks are even discouraged to hold cash in their accounts. When you want to borrow money back, say on a credit card or personal loan or whatever, and that bank wants to give money back to you, they charge you something between 2 and 25% if you've got like a credit card. So think about it. How are they making all this money on all this money that is in the bank? It's literally in with one hand and out with the other. But when you're taking it out with the other, you're paying more to take it out. It's all a little bit of it really will blow your mind when you think about it. I want to talk about the book Sapiens by Yuval Noah. Add it to your reading list if you just want something fresh to read. It's actually a really good book. But if you go to something like chapter 16 in the book, and it talks about the concept of fractional lending, where the bank will take £1 and transform it into lots of pounds. So those lots of pounds can be loaned out again and again and again, making between 2 to 25% on every pound that is lent out, whilst you just sit there, in your savings account. Another interesting fact is about 10% of all advertising is spent on financial services, so on banking and lending products that keep you poor and let the banks get richer. So think twice before you actually sign, your personal finance life away. The majority of people give up their time, their happiness and their health working so that one day they can be free and they can do what they actually want. But the sad thing about that is by the time that you do get to that one day, you might be too old. Your health might not allow it because you've sacrificed so much in your working life. And also because you can't do those things that you were once young enough and youthful enough to do in the first place. I mean, it's quite easy to do what the majority do, but in order to break away from the curve, you need to think outside of the box. That means taking my own finances into my own hands by doing things like creating a budget. I mean, the first time I tried to get my head around double entry on my budgeting platform, I think it took my husband and I, he had to explain it to me, and it took us pages and pages before I was like, okay, I understand this now. But I was dead by that point. The point is don't give up, be persistent, understand. If you don't understand something, teach yourself. You are capable of learning and making better financial decisions for yourself. You might not be someone that loves reading books, and that's fine. Watch these videos instead, and I'll be telling you what I've learned, and that's the whole point of this YouTube channel anyway. So guys, let me know, are these videos helping? Are they informative? What do you want to see? Leave me a little comment down below, and I'll tailor my next videos in order to make videos of stuff that you guys actually want to know about. But until next time, please like, comment, subscribe if you like what you see. But until next time, don't make excuses. Excuses are the worst thing. There's always, a time or a chance to turn the corner. And I always get 100% better by sharing with you guys anyway. So don't make excuses, make those changes now. Learn how to invest now. I've just recorded another video on 3 types of investments, and the best investments I think are perfect for beginners. And so I'll link that down below. So do feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what your thoughts are. Cheers guys, bye.